I was going to bring that up.
Really?
And all this is like unfounded Twitter rumors, but I'm angry enough to kind of believe it. Apparently they had their writer friends that were telling them like, no, this is bad. And they were like, yeah, well, we don't know what else to do about it. So we're just going to go with it.
We have no experience in this. So we're just like, well, here we go. This is it. We're not going to ask for anybody's really help at all.
They needed 5 more episodes in that damn season is what they needed.
No, because it would have been more of that where they just don't expand the lore, if you will.
That was the big problem, I thought. They were like, we wanted to keep it based in realism, but it's like the whole season of Game of Thrones was in the realism part until obviously the dragons started flying around. But it's like they wanted that season 8 should have been the expansion of all of that lore rather than the condensed version of like, well, what happened to everything? Everything was about to be sick as fuck.
I'm here for lore talk. Let's stick with Game of Thrones, though, because another rumor, Miguel Sapochnik, who did Battle of the Bastards, Hard Home, The Long Night, the one in the last season that was too dark for anybody to see, he's going to direct a Targaryen-themed spinoff that's like the rise of the Targaryens, like 300 years before what we know of Game of Thrones. This is supposedly actually written out already by George R. R. Martin in something that he did that I've never read. I don't know.
He wrote it but didn't release it?
I
don't know if it was like one of his side
okay
projects or whatever.
He has literally 100 different other books that he just writes that are basically the same thing, I think. He just probably took one of those stories and was like...
I don't know what to believe out of any of this, though, because they supposedly canceled the series that was going to be starring Naomi Watts that was like thousands of years before this. I have no idea what's happening. But another one of the rumors was that Miguel Sapochnik wanted like 40 direwolves to come out and attack the Night King's dragon after they transformed it. And I guess the producers just came back and were like, yeah, we don't have the money for that.
Money for what?
To make that happen. Like, obviously, that's CG. They're not going to get a real dragon and real...
I understand. Like, real wolves. It's all, like... They don't have enough money to make that happen with CGI?
That is the rumor.
Fucking don't do the show, then.
That would have been fine.
Yeah.
Instead of what we actually got, yeah. I think I would have been fine never getting a resolution for this show instead of what we actually got.
Like, how expensive was it to CGI some dogs in there, aka some freaking wolves? They had the one big controversy about how Snow was like disregarded by Jon Snow because they're like, yeah, well, we couldn't put it in there because, you know,
because we didn't have the CG budget for it. Like, fuck you, man. Give me the dog.
That's probably why the whole thing went dark, because they're like, well, we wanted to show 1 million zombies, but we couldn't afford it, so we just had to show all the Dothraki go out there with their flaming torches and just die.
Yeah, so stupid.
Spoilers. Sorry, guys.
George R. R. Martin says he'll help write the screenplay for this once he's done writing on Winds of Winter, a.k.a. never going to happen.
Oh, God.
Dude, you are on the fucking struggle bus right now.
I am struggling. How long has he been writing that for? Or said he's been writing it?
When did the last book come out, Brick?
Like 2009?
Yeah, I was going to say 10 years.
It's been a while.
He doesn't need to. It doesn't... We've talked about this before. It doesn't benefit him in any way to finish this series because it's never going to live up to the hype. People are going to shit on it no matter what. Just sit on your piles of money and relax.
Honestly, that's probably why he gave such creative freedoms to those two writers, and wasn't sitting in, was because he kind of wanted to see the reaction of the people, what could have been and what maybe the easy route was. Maybe that's what everyone thought was going to happen, or maybe he just wanted to take someone else's take on it just so he can get his own vision sparked from that. Hopefully. I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
I'm dreaming.
Okay, here's some good Nicolas Cage news. I feel like every time I read a Nicolas Cage headline, it's kind of a parody of itself. He keeps signing up for these ridiculous ass movies that I just need to see come to life eventually.
This one's very over the top.
It's called Wally's Wonderland, and Nick Cage is going to play a janitor forced to spend the night in a twisted amusement park where he is pulled into a living nightmare as the animatronics come to life, and he has to fight his way out and survive until morning. This was a Simpsons episode.
I can't wait for the trailer to drop for this.
This was Itchy and Scratchy Land in The Simpsons.
Amazing.
How much screaming from Nick Cage is there going to be?
Oh my God, please. I need him to like pull his wallet out and like say that he was a couple days from retirement and there's like a picture of his wife and kids and shit. I'm so here for this.
We need a Nicolas Cage drop. What would a Nicolas Cage drop be? We should crowdsource this.
And just blowing rails of cocaine.
Is this going to be a gory movie though?
I have no clue.
Like when they come to life, are they going to be like life as in like humanish form where they're like bloody, or are they still going to be robots?
No, you know what animatronics are, right?
Yeah.
It's like Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah. So no, I'm just saying, are they going to stick to them being robots and just have them have a conscience, or are they actually going to make them?
I would assume that this is like Terminator style.
Okay.
Where they're robots and they're just trying to kill humans.
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll see. Either way, I'm 100% in for this.
Same. That sounds amazing.
I'm down.
I want to get your guys' take on something because Netflix is currently kicking around a speed modifier for their series and movies. So similar like a podcast, you can listen to it at like 1.5 speed. Mm-hmm. So you can get through more of them. I do this all the time. I listen to almost everything at 2 times. Like audiobooks, you can get through more.
2 times?
Yeah, you get used to it. Like you slowly work your way up. You don't just start at 2x.
How high pitched are the voices though? Doesn't that
adjusts
annoy
for
you?
that. No.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it doesn't sound like chipmunks.
Okay.
But I'm fine with this. I have no problem with that. Judd Apatow is so butthurt on Twitter, talking about how he's going to call up all of his producer friends in Hollywood, and this is such a terrible idea, and you can't change how you watch what I give to you. Like, shut the fuck up.
It's all about timing. If you're going to be a critic on here and you're like, yeah, I'm going to watch everything at 2.5 times, I don't really care. That's kind of.
If I was taking something seriously, I wouldn't speed it up. But also, there's so much garbage out there right now that I just either hate watch or just like watch to have background noise. I kind of get a plot out of. I can think of so many shows that I would watch at 2 times speed.
Santa Clarita Diet.
Oh my God. Give me 5 times on that. Just so I can fucking stop showing it to me in my queue. That show sucked.
Disenchantment.
I like Disenchantment. I would watch that at normal speed, but
I would normal speed Disenchantment too.
I get why he's pissed off though.
Bit.
This is your work, and people are altering it to just benefit them.
Bypass it.
Yeah.
No, just to be like, yeah, I don't want to waste my actual time with this. I'm going to spend. If you don't want to waste your time watching it, don't watch it.
I think that historically that would have been accurate, but now there's so much content that people feel the need to get through so many things just to have a conversation at work or to keep up. Like, my sister's been on me for months to watch Peaky Blinders. Mm-hmm. When the fuck am I going to watch, 5 seasons of something? Hour-long episodes?
Yeah, they're only like 6 episodes a season, though.
That's still, 40 hours of something?
I don't know. I look at what you watch up there on demand or whatever it is, and you watch a lot of TV.
That's mostly Erica. Or we watch like an episode to try something and never finish it.
Okay.
There are a litany of shows that I've started and just been like, this isn't good enough. I need to find something better than this to actually fill my time. And then you feel guilty because you're like, I need to get through this. I told somebody I was watching it.
But when you're altering the time and speeding or slowing down a scene, wouldn't you think like you're going to have a different... the way that you feel about certain scenes is going to change compared to like me. If I watched it normal, I think there would be like certain scenes with a lot of tension. I would probably think it was a better scene than you, where you don't really feel that tension because it's flying through it, at a faster speed.
My argument is not that it won't change things. I get that it will change how you take things in. Mm-hmm. It would change comedic timing. My argument is that I'm the customer. If I'm paying for something, I want to be able to choose how I watch it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I get that.
Also, for him to... I think maybe it just bothered me that he was like, I'm going to call everybody I know in Hollywood. Like, fuck you, dude.
You sounded like a 4th grader.
Seriously. My dad's a lawyer. I'm going to call him. I'm going to sue you. Shut up.
Judd Apatow's a producer, though, right? He's not a director.
He was a director. He directed like 40-Year-Old Virgin and.
Oh, he did. I thought that was Adam McKay.
Knocked Up.
All I know is
maybe it wasn't 40-Year-Old. He did Knocked Up.
Okay.
But yeah, he's directed a lot of stuff.
This is 40. Maybe is what you probably got mixed up.
Anything that Leslie Mann is in, because he's married to Leslie Mann, so he does most of the movies.
No, he did 40-Year-Old Virgin, and he did This Is 40. He did both of those. He did Step Brothers. I mean, his resume is.
I'm pretty sure Step Brothers was Adam McKay.
Good. Yeah, directed by him. He produced it though.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Just shut up.
Yeah, he could chill.
Chill, bro.
He needs a chill pill.
We are 2.5 years away from a sequel to Into the Spider-Verse.
I know.
Woo!
I hate that they do that, but I also love it.
I appreciate that we know that it's coming. I don't want you to tell me you have to wait 2.5 more years for something.
I know, it sucks.
Speculation. That's what happened with Game of Thrones. It got too long, too much hype.
And then it doesn't live up to the hype.
Exactly.
At least we know that we're going to get Spider-Man 2099.
Into the Spider-Verse 2?
They showed him in the little
post-credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great post-credit scene, by the way.
This was a different one. Not the one where they're pointing at each other.
Oh.
That's like the end credits one. The one at the in mid-credits is what they refer to it as, is like he comes back in time. He's from 2099.
Gotcha.
You need to rewatch that movie. Also, you need to wake the fuck up.
No, I'm tired.
I'm going to slap you around a little bit.
So, do you how do you feel about Spider-Man 2099?
I haven't
like
read
that
all of the
storyline?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
They do some corny shit, but I mean, anytime you read a comic book, some of it's going to be corny.
Do you remember
Spider-Man.
reading them? Like, do you remember
Corny
what
as
Miguel
fuck.
O'Hara's character was like?
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
teenage Spider-Man, but instead of cussing, they say shock. So, like, instead of fuck this, you would say shock this.
Yeah.
It's
that's a nice
corny.
way to go. Beat around it. So, fun fact for you, actually. You know they were going to do an animated show on Spider-Man 2099 in 1999, but Batman Beyond beat them to it. And so they're like, there's something already out there like this, and we don't want to be those guys that come out with something so similar.
I'm actually okay with that because Batman Beyond was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. HBO Max is the next streaming service that's going to come and drain your wallet for $16 a month.
I don't know if I could do it, though. I already have HBO Go. I don't know if it's worth it.
Why don't they just mix it all together?
I don't know. They're doing that Green Lantern show now, supposedly, and
Way to steal my headline, but yeah.
Sorry.
They're also they're the ones who are getting the streaming rights that we talked about last week for South Park. They're going to get Rick and Morty streaming rights, so that won't be on Hulu. I don't know. We are getting to that point that keeps threatening itself. We're going away from cable. You go to so many streaming services, and then somebody's going to sell a bundle package, and time is a flat circle. We're back to where we started.
yeah, I don't think I'm going to do cable when I move in because my condo association, they already package cable in your dues or whatever.
Yeah.
But when hopefully, if I close on this house, I think I'm just going to do streaming services. I feel like that's the way to go.
I mean, how much do you, besides
what I
live
do.
sports,
Yeah.
how much, and you don't even really watch sports.
Not really. Yeah.
I meant to ask you, how you feeling about that Bears to the Super Bowl bet?
Dude, did I bet that? No, I didn't. That was
Every fucking bet that we make.
that was
you
a
lose.
joking bet. That was like,
We
yeah, Bears
shook
go to
on
the
it.
Super Bowl.
We shook on it.
Did we?
You didn't even say they're going to win the Super Bowl. You said they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
wanna
And I
see
was
the
like,
video.
you're fucking stupid.
Did you get on video?
Probably. We get most things on video now.
Fuck.
You cop out of fucking every bet.
Bears suck ass.
Yes, they do. I'm glad to hear you admit that.
Brick's a Viking fan again.
He's going to become a Broncos fan, which is somehow worse.
They are even, way worse.
Oh, God. I don't really know what else to say. How much, if you had to guess, I'm not going to put you on the spot, how much do you think you're willing to allocate monthly towards streaming services?
$64.
That is very accurate. I'm surprised. I mean, if you think about it, you have to pay for internet service, obviously, and that's, what, $50?
Yeah.
If you're willing to spend $60 on streaming services, you're paying $110 a month, and that's about what it costs to get cable and internet.
But you can get a lot with $64 across. I mean, you could probably get what, 5 streaming services for that? Maybe
Amazon Prime,
Yeah.
like $10 a month. Netflix is 15. HBO Max is 16.
Mm-hmm.
Disney Plus is going to be $8. Hulu's 12. It adds up very quickly.
That's a lot of content.
You're paying for DC Universe,
Yeah.
which apparently HBO Max is going to take over Doom Patrol as well. So the failed shows that were on DC Universe are reportedly going to HBO Max.
Well, Doom Patrol wasn't failed. They were going to do a season 2, but they just took it.
Yeah,
I guess.
which I loved Doom Patrol. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, the DC Universe app, they need to figure out what the hell they're going to do because, I mean, we've been waiting on this Harley Quinn animated show for so long, and Titan season 2 is ending, and that will probably go somewhere else if it hasn't already agreed to go somewhere else already.
Harley Quinn is coming the end of this month.
They just don't put out enough stuff to keep people interested.
They don't have the money backing to produce concurrent shows even. Like, they don't have anything that's running at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one series ends and then you get another season of something else. That's not in an ultra competitive market where people are looking for content constantly. That's not enough to keep you going.
That will not keep you going.
Oh well.
Best.
We the best!
Worst.
The worst!
You all right, Prick?
She's the
Hanging
worst
in there,
person
dude?
in the world. Huge skank, terrible, but thank you.
What are you watching right now? I feel like you're watching something.
Is he going to talk or?
Brick, are you okay?
I'm waiting for my best man alive. I'm just pulling it up, man.
He just completely ignored what you were saying to him.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Great. Jesus. Brick, just go ahead.
I got Freddie Freeman. First of all, great baseball name. He's a baseball player for the Braves. On Halloween, he saw this kid wearing a Braves jersey who happened to be dressed as him, and he just walked by nonchalantly. He's like, "Hey, that's my name. That's my number. Hey, you want a picture?" He just was such a dad, just carrying his like toddler on his hip, just going trick-or-treating, walking across the street. He's the man, just casual dadding across on Halloween.
I feel
just
like
like the
that
way he
kid didn't
interacted with
even
fans.
realize that was him, though.
It depends on how old the kid is.
Yeah.
Oh, we talked about this before, though. How many baseball players could you pick out of a lineup?
Not many.
Stop. And they get FaceTime too. They don't even get their, like, they're not wearing helmets or anything. They're just straight up hats.
Standing around.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I think I watch a shitload of baseball. I could probably recognize like 15 players. Max.
Mm-hmm.
And most of that is just because I'd look at somebody and be like, "You're fucking huge. You're probably an athlete."
Yeah.
That's another good point. That's another good point.
John Lester, I remember meeting him at a bar, and he made me feel small, and I'm a very large man. So
I met actually Nate Robinson in Seattle, and I was like
Nasty Nate.
taller than him. It was weird. I was, yeah, this kid just balls the fuck out. And that was after he balled out in Chicago too. We were.
Are you actually
in
taller
Seattle
than
for a
Nate
gaming
Robinson?
convention.
I don't know that I believe you.
Short.
I don't
I know
think
that he's
so.
short, but he's
Nate
like
Robinson's short.
he's NBA player short.
I'm 6 foot.
Okay, whatever. I'm going to go with a baseball theme, though. Obviously, the World Series just concluded. The road team won every game, which is really weird.
Yeah.
It was an exciting series. I thought it was really good. I'm glad that the Cubs, or I'm not.
Game 7.
I wish that the Cubs would have been in it, but Game 7 was insane.
Attitude.
Max Scherzer out there just
yeah.
grunting his ass off.
Just cussing under his
Dude, he's an insane person.
He is insane.
But also, he's a Hall of Famer still going right now. So, like that was the first time ever that we've had Cy Young's face off in a Game 7. So, Greinke obviously won years ago, but I digress. A Nats fan at one of the games that the Nats lost because they were in DC, but he was in left field. This guy's name is Jeff Adams. He is double fisting Bud Lights, and a home run is hit directly to him.
I saw this.
And instead of dropping his beers, he just pushes his chest out, holds his beers out to the side, and just takes it to the sternum.
Did he get the ball?
I assume so. I didn't really after I saw this, I was just like, "Oh my god, that man's a hero!" Like, get this guy a fucking cape. Didn't drop either of his beers. he's got a lot of quotes going around right now, and he's going to get like a Bud Light ad campaign because that's how 2019 works today. But he was quoted as saying, "It was an Astros home run. They don't hit the ball very hard."
Damn.
So just like,
Oh man,
What a guy.
ultimate meatball fan, Jeff Adams, you are my best man alive this week.
What a guy.
yeah, I mean, full on. That's the most Banff way to catch a home run ball, was just to take it off the chest.
He like referenced his little league coach. He was like, "Yeah, my coach always taught me to keep my chest in front of the ball." Just so stupid.
It'd be such a different story if it was like a foot higher and just clocked him on the head and
Or if
just
it
beer
cracked a
go
rib and
everywhere.
like punctured his lung, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm dying because I wouldn't put my beer down."
But they hit the ball like a pussy.
Very close.
Mark, who is your best man alive?
Inches, though.
This guy actually has not been found and has no name, but I love stories like this because my first job after college, I was a banker at Chase, and the people that would walk in there and open accounts, because you can't really turn people away as long as they have the money to open the account, even though you know it's fraud. You still have to open it for you, but
How do you know it's fraud?
just the way they do it, like you need a minimum of $20. So what a lot of people do is they'll go into a bank, they'll put down the minimum they need to open an account, $20.
Okay.
They'll open the account, they'll go to an ATM, they will, or they'll put in a fake check into the ATM, and the ATM will always clear $200. So they have $20 sitting in their account, they go to an ATM, they have a fake check for $300, it gives them $200 in cash, and then their account's $180 in the negative, and boom, they never touch the account again, and they come up
I
with
think
$180.
you've just given me an idea, Mark.
That's what people do. But anyway, so this guy walks into the bank. You ever like in grade school see a kid with this $1 million bill?
No.
Anyways, it's fake as shit. He goes.
Obviously.
He went into the bank and insisted it was real and would not leave, and tried opening an account with a $1 million bill. Shout out to that guy. I just thought it was kind of funny.
Well, that guy's an idiot.
Yeah, he went into a Pinnacle Bank branch in Nebraska and tried
course it was
opening the account with this fake $1 million bill, and they had to escort him out because he kept insisting that it was real. And now they're trying to find him, of course,
Interesting.
and jail him.
Good. Brick, can you hear me? He's frozen.
Brick,
I will
I
get him
can
back.
kind of hear you,
There you
but I'm just I'm like, it's the Google Hangouts is not loading right.
Well, you're back.
you're back.
Brick, you have not heard our review intro music yet.
Oh, yeah. We're frozen now,
Whatever.
too. Brick,
Very nice.
Smithers was trying to show you the music intro.
I heard it.
I heard it.
What a dick. We are here to talk about Terminator Dark Fate. So while Brick does God knows what, we'll just keep talking.
Okay, let's go.
Currently, it's 69% on Rotten Tomatoes, 86% from fans.
Okay.
This is directed by a guy named Tim Miller, who did Deadpool and also produced Love, Death, and Robots. I did not know that until
Really?
I was looking into this movie. So he's also producing this Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Did you see the redesign that apparently
It
is
looks
going around?
way
the
better.
It looks a million times better.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you have just gone with that in the first place instead of trying to make it hyper realistic?
I don't know.
It's
Bad
so
idea.
fucking stupid.
Bad idea. They at least they knew they were wrong, and
Well, no, they knew they were wrong once Twitter exploded.
Yeah, people were pissed.
Yeah, I don't you like focus group this shit?
I know, right? I don't know.
I'm very confused by that, but I digress. This movie had a $190 million budget, which is pretty high, but I think they also did a good job allocating that money. The CG was good.
Yeah, it was good compared to the trailer, which I thought it was garbage CG from what I saw in the trailer.
They did some pretty good de-aging, but I think that they did a good job in that by not having it strewn about the movie. Like, you'd get it in the beginning, and then you're done. I don't have to keep looking at a young Linda Hamilton and like picking apart why her face doesn't look right.
They by the way, Linda Hamilton, she's definitely gunned over 100,000 cigarettes.
That is in my notes.
Really?
Yes. I was like, she smokes a pack a day.
My God. Whatever. Speaking of the de-aging, I was impressed. There's a scene where it's a flashback and it's young Arnold Terminator. And they did a really good job at making that look pretty legit.
Yeah.
And I know you have so much footage of him from the old movies that you can use.
And just footage of him in general, yeah.
But when he turns around and walks away, that's for sure some other guy.
Oh, yeah. When his back is just massive.
Yeah.
Yes, that was clearly someone else.
But yeah, they did a good job at that.
How old is Arnold? I assume you know his birthday.
66, maybe?
Okay.
I think.
He still looks pretty good for a 66-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that the effects in this, the explosions, the fight scenes. So Tim Miller, I believe, is one of the ex-stuntmen type guys. So he does a lot of action movies, a lot of hand-to-hand combat, etc. So our stream just went down. I don't care. So he's good with this. And I thought that Mackenzie Davis, who plays Grace,
Yeah.
she must have done a lot of training or something because she was excellent in this, especially in the combat scenes. And they didn't do the whole shaky cam thing.
Yeah.
They let it kind of focus on her face, so you can see that she's the one actually doing the work. Otherwise, she has a stunt double that looks exactly like her, that has also a neck that is 3 feet long.
Literally looked like Katy Perry wearing the pantsuit.
Really, I did not make that connection.
I was like, why is Katy Perry hitting Oscar from The Office as the Terminator? I thought that I could not get that out of my head.
Okay, well, let's talk about Gabriel Luna, who plays this skinny Rev 9 Terminator. You know, back in my day, we had bodybuilder Terminators.
I know. What the fuck is this?
I thought he did fine. It's just like, why wouldn't you get...
Somebody huge.
Yeah.
Like throw in a Batista
the whole thing
or
is
something.
being a regular Joe, I feel.
I want
regular
John
guy.
Cena.
John Cena Terminator would be awesome.
Yeah, I didn't really get that. He did fine, but I don't know. Linda Hamilton, we talked about, just gunning cigarettes. Natalia Reyes, who plays Danny,
Yeah.
she was fine. She was nothing special.
I know.
Some of the scenes where you're supposed to take her very seriously.
I thought she was lame. I thought she was one of the worst characters. So, well, I guess we'll get into it with spoilers later, but like, I just didn't see the evolution of her character and believe it at all. And I didn't like her, Sarah Connor. I didn't like her character at all. Weathered ass, mega ass Ryan. It just
Jesus.
Wow. Brutal.
Scorched earth.
She's getting older.
Whatever. I just didn't believe her as like a super bamf, whatever. I just didn't believe those two characters. The best part of this movie, by far, is Arnold. He slays. He's actually funny, and he has the best scene, which was the last like 30 minutes of action. But until that point, the movie was kind of boring as shit.
I was not bored
until
by this
Arnold
movie.
came in.
I thought it was very action packed, and I think they were some of the better action scenes of any movies we've got in this year.
Okay. I'd have to think on that, but
I
sure.
would not agree with that.
It was fun to watch.
Brick, regardless of what you tell me, I'm fairly certain that you've never seen another Terminator movie.
I have. I've walked out of Terminator movies in the theater.
Okay. Have you seen the original 2 Terminator movies?
I feel like I have.
Okay, so that's
On
a no,
TNT.
which is probably why you didn't like this
Terminator
movie.
2 is one of the greatest movies of all time.
They're both amazing.
Yeah.
But the most
I
important
came to
part
it
of this
late and I
movie,
just didn't see it. Like didn't click for me when I saw it.
yeah, you probably weren't paying attention or you didn't actually watch it. But
Or maybe I was watching it on like a 2.5 speed that I watched it on fast forward when I was younger, because that's a really good way to watch a movie.
wow, you're just getting petty now. I didn't say I would watch everything at 2.5 times speed, but there are some things that I would want to watch because they're not as good.
What was the last Terminator we got? Salvation?
Yes.
Was that with Christian Bale and stuff?
They kind of run together because they were all really bad. The original third one was the one where the woman was the Terminator.
Okay, yeah.
Arnold was in that one.
And that was really bad CGI.
It was awful
Because-
it was just a bad movie.
Yeah.
Then there was Genesis was the last one.
Okay.
Salvation was the one before that. Both of them suck and they're terrible. don't ever watch them. But that's what this movie gets right, is that it ignores all of those.
Yes.
And you're just supposed to... This picks up probably days after Terminator 2 ends, maybe. There is something that we'll get to in spoilers that I didn't really agree with from a storytelling standpoint.
Okay.
But I kind of get why they did it. I don't know. We'll get to that. But you have to be able to ignore those other sequels because they were just fucking abysmal. Mark, what else did you like about this?
Let me ask you this real quick, Smithers. What speed would you watch this Terminator on?
Half speed. I want this movie to be 4 hours long.
Okay. Well,
you like this movie that much?
I liked it.
I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, same.
You haven't even seen Terminator 2. Shut the fuck up. You are banned from talking about this movie. You're on a movie podcast. You've never seen one of the most watched movies of the last 30 years.
You've seen all movies of all time?
I've seen most of the big blockbusters, yeah.
Okay, we're going to go. I have that list of 100 movies you have to have seen. If you haven't seen one of them, you should shut down the podcast.
Your list is bullshit.
It was a poster that you got from
yeah, you didn't even make the list. You went to Hot Topic and bought a fucking poster.
I got it from work. And didn't.
I can just see Brick walking into Hot Topic, like walking past the dildos, and he's like, "Ooh, that's a cool poster."
Brick's getting right now.
Yeah, I passed you.
I'll give you that dildo behind the desk too.
You can make fun of Brick all you want, but the last thing you can do is make fun of his top 100 movies poster.
Yo, that's where we draw the line, boys. That is.
All right. Movie. Brick, the floor is yours. Tell me why you hated this movie so much.
I told you the acting wasn't believable by any means. The action was fine. I didn't really care for it. The best part of the movie was the last 30 minutes with Arnold, only because Arnold was in it. That was it.
I agree. In some cases, yeah, Arnold stole the show, and this was a very female-driven movie. And what I liked about it is they didn't just shove that in your face all the time.
They didn't, and that was going to be my retort.
I like that because they weren't making little.
They weren't like girl power,
yeah, things like that. Where Charlie's Angels is going to be that nonstop. These female leads were great, and they had some great action shots. 2
of the 3 of them were good.
Yeah.
I loved Mackenzie Davis. I thought she was excellent in this. She was in the newer Blade Runner. She was in that AMC show Halt and Catch Fire, which I really liked. I think she's really good.
Yeah. But Arnold did steal the show once he showed up.
Still the best, but that's because he has more charisma than this entire room combined. Yeah. And I'm talking about the dog, too.
Yeah. And those were some of the funniest parts is with him, too.
When he talks about how he has such a good sense of humor and he says it completely deadpan, I lost it.
Dude, when he did the drapes, they were just kibitzing about what he did. And then when he brought the drapes, I actually laughed out loud. He's the man.
When he's like, I said, don't do it. You think he's talking about something real serious and he's talking about drapes.
Brick, butterflies.
You really hate this movie. So is this your most hated movie of 2019?
No. Arnold saved it. Arnold, it's fine. Don't go to the movie theater and see this movie by any means. Arnold was good. But I just don't the hype you're giving it is not, I don't think,
because I said I liked it.
Rewarded.
I didn't say it was a fucking Oscar winner. I just said I really liked the movie.
No, you were gushing.
Okay. Well, I have seen Terminator 2, so I'm allowed to do that. Mark, what didn't you like about this? Think about that.
Yeah.
I'll go. The script was pretty bad. I could not have counted on both of my hands the amount of times that Mackenzie Davis says something along the lines of "We can't stay here" or "We have to go." Yeah. I know that you have to go. You're hanging off a dam in a Hummer.
Yeah.
I know that you can't stay there. You don't need to say it out loud. So that bugged me. And they did this in the trailer. You don't need, just because you have a famous line in one of your predecessor movies,
you
don't need to fucking repeat it. Yeah. I don't need you to say, "I'll be back," especially if you're going to change the intonation of it and completely butcher it. I don't need that. Who is that for?
I don't know. And then you have Arnold saying, "I won't be back." I'm just like, come on. Now you're giving this away. What the ending's going to be?
Yeah, fucking stupid. Anything else you didn't like?
No, I agree. I thought the writing was pretty bad at times.
The dialogue was bad. The writing was fine.
Okay, fair. It dragged in some parts. I'll semi agree with Brick, but I think that quickly picked up every time they had an action scene because the action scenes were, in my opinion, what made this movie for me.
I felt that there was tension.
How did you believe anything that old lady was doing? She was a grandma fighting a Terminator.
She was just shooting guns. It's not like she was fist fighting it.
Dude, that's Sarah
she
Connor.
was taking hits from it. She was like...
She's not an old lady. If you saw Terminator 1 or 2, Brick, you would know that's Sarah Connor. She's the most BAMF Terminator.
Yeah, literally after Terminator 1, she goes and trains so that she can be a badass for when the Terminators come.
And now she's 80. And
so is Arnold.
Plan didn't work out.
Oh my God. Your opinions are moot.
Brick, watch Terminator 1 and 2 today, please.
The one girl was like, she was augmented. It made sense. She could fight Terminators that are actual robot. This other lady has brittle ass bones.
She was just shooting guns.
She could not take one hit from a Terminator. And if it's robots, how are you going to have that bad accuracy that often? If you can't kill an old lady multiple times, how are you even a threat at all?
Brick, Sarah Connor has the experience, the knowledge, and the smarts to outsmart these Terminators when they're talking about the dead box and all that stuff. She has plans on how to kill these things. That's where her value comes in.
From every time we go see a movie now that you like, I'm going to point out stupid things like, no, this is unrealistic. This movie about robots from the future is too unrealistic because this old woman can take a punch from a robot and live.
Sarah Connor can't bench 315. There's no way she can stop a Terminator.
This old bitch can't even squat 240.
It doesn't equate to having a killer robot on the loose not be able to kill an elderly woman. I just think that's a flaw. It's stupid.
I like that this is where
kill
the
her in the whole
goes off
movie. I don't
track
care.
for you.
Why does she need to live? Who cares? Did you care about that actress? I mean, did you care about her performance?
No.
I mean, what did you care if she lived or died at the end? I'm just curious.
Sarah Connor?
No, I don't give a fuck.
Talking about so. Oh my God.
I really didn't.
Stupid. It was stupid. Stupid.
Okay.
Arnold's the man. Made it fine.
This is a resounding go see it for me. That is my rating. You should go see this in the butt rumbling Dolby Theater.
Yeah.
Because it needs to be loud, it needs to be huge, and Arnold's jokes are completely deadpan and hilarious.
I'm gonna say see it as well.
Eat shit, Brick.
What are you gonna give it, Brick?
FX movie, dude. Are you kidding me? Skip it. If it's on FX, hopefully you catch the last 30 minutes with just Arnold. You basically get everything else, and the whole front of the movie is pointless. Just catch the last half, see what Arnold does. FX movie.
Brick, were you just too confused about all the timelines and the futuristic shit they were doing? Were you just lost?
No,
you're like, fuck this.
It was pretty straightforward, but it's like
he was just high as balls and he thought he was walking in to watch Snow Dogs.
I don't think it was straightforward. All right, we'll get into spoilers. I want you to explain the whole timeline.
No, I would rather explain to you Snow Dogs by Cuba Gooding Jr. and how that movie played out rather than go see Terminator.
Wow.
Again.
Okay. Well, there's our ratings. We're going to spoil this from here on out. Your hatred for this movie makes no sense to me, considering the shitty movies that you've loved in the past. Be like, what are you talking about? Just turn your brain off and enjoy it.
Jumanji was better than Terminator.
It was not. I thought it was questionable for them to kill off John Connor in the first 5 minutes of the movie, because the first two movies that you're supposed to reference were about his survival and nothing else.
And then they just murder him.
They stop Judgment Day and they stop Skynet from happening. And all of that is wiped out immediately. Like I know that, the director could speak to this, but I just assume that when they're at that bar in Guatemala, that's like 10 minutes after Terminator 2 ends. And it's like they get no time together at all. And bam, another Arnold T-800 shows up and just shotguns him in the fucking face.
God.
That's the way I want to look at it because it seems hilarious to me.
That was over the top.
I just didn't. If you want to make him go away, that's fine. Like send him to Russia or something. Have him hang out with Edward Snowden. But that was a weird choice for me.
No, I definitely felt that way too. I was kind of blown away. I'm like, no way is John Connor just gonna get demolished right now by Arnold, but it happened.
Let's talk about Arnold in this movie because I want Brick to be included for something that he actually cared about. They did a lot of ignoring realism for just like he's got a wife and a kid now, and they even reference it. So I think it was kind of tongue in cheek. Like you gotta at least mention it. Like she didn't realize your wife doesn't realize that you're a 400-pound robot.
Yeah.
I wonder what like Terminator, the teenager, like what kind of hijinks he gets up to. Mateo, does he have robot abilities? It wasn't
actually his kid.
It's adopted.
Yeah, like he talks about it. He's like, yeah, her husband beat her and whatever. Like he's just like adoptive father.
He says the relationship is never physical.
See, you weren't even paying attention to this movie.
No, I remember that, but I put a note in my little thing. I wonder what Terminator teenager what kind of hijinks he would get up to. And I was just curious.
I said, do you think she is that she's not getting that robo machine wiener?
I'll be pretty sad. For a slight second, I thought they were going to have Sarah Connor just be like, "Oh, you took John from me," and just kill Mateo.
That actually, I would have been okay with that.
That would have been,
and him just like stone faced to turn to her and be like, "Why would you do that?" Yeah, that would have been funny.
Why would you do that?
You're right though. He was probably the best part of this movie. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I came out of this and I was like, I enjoyed that. It was like Gemini Man. Mm-hmm. I know that it wasn't a good movie. That doesn't mean I can't enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Rick, were you okay with like how they did the timeline stuff and future Grace coming in and all that?
Yeah.
Did you follow it?
So she, Grace is basically just her. Is it like Looper where she's going to continually go back and save her, or
I'm going to have a fucking brain aneurysm if you tell me that this movie is not as good as Looper.
I'm just kidding. It's so she changed the timeline for the future because she went back in the past. Gotcha.
Yeah. So what I pulled from it is that the future Danny, who's like the badass Danny now, and the world has come to an end pretty much, and she's brought together all these people to fight back against the Terminators. She sends. She obviously trains young Grace, and then she sends Grace back to the past.
Which seems like a paradox to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But also, if you watch Futurama, you know that you can't have like any future copy of yourself is doomed.
Yeah. Because
it's paradoxical. It's a time travel paradox, so you have to kill that off anyway. So I guess Grace had to die off if that timeline was to continue. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in this that doesn't particularly make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But also, it's a fucking Terminator movie. I'm not watching a historical retelling of... No, it's not a James Cameron movie. It's a fucking Tim Miller movie.
Wait,
I would have preferred if the ending happened where she came back and saved Danny, but Danny... instead of a whatever core reactor they put the Terminator in the first time was a nuclear reactor, and then she went crazy, future crazy, goes Danny, Game of Thrones. Peace.
You are pushing all of my buttons today. Not only did you just make a really stupid point, but you said nuclear.
Nuclear.
God, you're an idiot. I just lost my... I think it's also hilarious.
It's contagious.
She was like telling Danny, like, take my reactor power source. Mm-hmm. Like this woman that you just saved for the future, you just gave her all kinds of cancer and she's going to die immediately.
Yeah, that was kind of fucked up. I didn't think about that, actually.
So does the Terminator, the Rev 9, does he get weaker when he splits apart?
I don't know. That was another thing I was thinking about. Was that just his exoskeleton? Like... there was nothing behind. He had no skeleton when he was in his other form. I mean, you had the Terminator skeleton.
Yeah.
And then when he split apart, was that just a mush?
He had to have gotten weaker though, right? Otherwise he just would have stayed in that form the entire time. There would have been two of them instead of one.
Yeah.
That's the only way that makes any sense. Or I guess they can't be separated for that long.
I guess.
Or
Yeah, I
it's
don't know.
Terminator and it doesn't need to be explained because that's how you like this movie, right?
I'm living in the world of this movie. I am able to turn my brain off and enjoy something for what it is, as opposed to you looking for logic
Exactly.
with Linda Hamilton not breaking all of her ribs when she gets punched by a fucking future robot.
She's 90.
You know, usually
She'd
I'm the wet
die.
blanket on this podcast, but you're really harshing my vibe.
Yeah, if it was like if
She's-
it was actually realistic, they would have Sarah dead already from lung cancer.
Yeah, because she's just ripping six all day.
She's just gunning cigarettes nonstop. But no, it's a
Maybe
Terminator
they-
movie.
They did de-aging in this, right? Why didn't they make her not look forever?
Because
old,
she's
you know?
supposed to be that age.
Because this is 30 years later. The Terminator 2 took place in 1992. Well, it was made in 92. Judgment Day happens supposedly in 95. Okay? So we're talking 27 years later. She was a mom then. She was probably 30 then. So time
So
was
make
not
her look
kind to her, and
50,
she smokes
not
cigarettes
90.
all the time. And she talks about what an alcoholic she is.
That doesn't make her fit to be able to take a punch from a Terminator.
Oh my God, get the fuck over it.
Like I said again, it's her brains, Brick. It's not her physical strength that is why she's able to fight these things.
Okay, watch that movie again because you guys loved it so much, and tell me that there's not one time where she gets where she gets hit by the Terminator or gets thrown something into a Terminator or where her brittle ass bones.
I'm not
Wouldn't be
saying that she didn't
exploded.
get hit by the Terminator.
She got hit by the Terminator in this movie and got knocked out. It
I'm
happens.
saying she would be dead.
Holy shit, dude. There's a giant spider on your wall. That cord hanging up your shelf.
Yeah.
He looked. You want to keep talking about this, Mark?
Brick's gonna be pissed.
Whatever.
No, I mean that kind of wrapped it up for me. I thought you should go see this in theaters because of the action sequences, and I enjoyed the leads in this role. I thought Hamilton did a good job. I haven't seen her in anything in so long.
I don't know that she still acts.
Yeah, I don't think she does. Which is, you kind of get that after seeing her in this movie. I think some of her acting skills have dwindled a little bit.
And she, like, not to agree with Brick, but she doesn't play a good badass. She played a good badass when she was like 30, but that was because she had to. And also, I mean, that movie wasn't like she was thrust into that role. It's not like they framed her as a badass in Terminator. I don't know. I liked it.
I like that they caught out the other bullshit movies like Salvation and
Oh my
Genesis.
God. Yes, had to. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I got though. I thought this was, for what it was, I was thinking it was going to be terrible, and it certainly wasn't that.
Yeah.
So
You just got to overlook those one-liners.
yeah, it's
that are
a fucking
cringeworthy.
Terminator movie. There has to be one-liners in a Terminator movie. So
Arnold's in it. Arnold's great. Go see it.
do I have to make a recommendations drop now?
Brick's going to be very mad because now he can't recommend. What was he?
Don't even mention it. We're not going to let him recommend it.
Hold on. I should recommend it. Wait,
Okay.
what was his recommendation?
The King.
The King?
With Timothy Chalamet and Robert Pattinson and Joel Edgerton.
Okay.
Yeah, super good. Super good. I wouldn't even watch it on 2x speed, man. It's fucking dope.
I'm just going to butcher this recommendation too. All right.
It's a period piece, and I really like the lore. What is your actual recommendation?
No,
King is gonna be
I'll
super
recommend
pissed.
Netflix. The King just came out. It's a movie set in about, what would you say, like 1920s or something. And
It's fucking King Henry like the second.
yeah, so like maybe late 1800, like probably 1910. But you have Jeremy Chalamet in it. You have Mikey Pattinson, and it's overall a pretty good film. It's a good flick. It's a series, so we're gonna have another season of it. But
You know what I really like about Timothy Chalamet is that he's young enough to take a punch from a robot.
yeah, me too. So Pattinson's also good. He was just in that Firehouse movie that dropped. He was with Robert Bufo, I think, too, in that movie. So yeah, go see this one.
Oh, Jesus.
It's nonstop action, and yeah, you get a little bit of Julius Caesar, everything you ever wanted in a movie.
It's a period piece.
It's a period piece. Okay.
Piece. It's a period piece. All right. My recommendation, I don't know if you saw any of the clips from this. Saturday Night Live, take it or leave it. It's fine. Like, it's a time. Saturday Night Live is something I would watch at 1.5 times speed. Mm-hmm. But Chance the Rapper was on last week. He's actually gold. This is the second time he's hosted Saturday Night Live. He's good. Like, he could be a comedian. He's got good timing.
His intro about the second best, liking the second best of everything.
Dude, he's legitimately funny. Yes. And the first time he came on, he did like
the hockey.
Let's do that hockey. Like they brought that character back, and he did a skit where he was like an esports announcer.
Really?
He's like, I have no idea what's going on. It was hilarious because they're playing League of Legends in the background, and he is a basketball announcer, but he's doing this. I thought it was really good. Even if you don't want to sit down and watch the entire hour and a half of Saturday Night Live, you can see all these clips on YouTube.
Did you see the skit with him as the judge when Jason Momoa comes in?
No, I actually missed that.
You missed it. The best part of those is when they have a guest on, regardless of who it is, whenever they break character, because they're going to break character sooner or later. Yeah. Shit is just so funny. He breaks character as the judge, and it's just, oh my God, hilarious.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. So check that out. You got anything else?
No, I don't have anything. The King, I guess. Kingslayer, whatever it's called.
The King. Yeah. It's really Game of Thrones. Like, I'm waiting for the dragon to show up, but maybe that's season 2.
Definitely check it.
He's going to be so pissed. As always, you can find us on social media at the Chumpcast. You can also call or text us at 847-920-6107. Brick is literally calling back right now. Let's just see what he has to say.
Yeah.
Ahoy, hoy.
Quick question. So I recorded in mono, but I think I found the last problem with the last one. It said channel mode, and it originally had joint stereo.
I was really hoping that you were calling back to like yell at us or something, because we're still actually recording and we're live.
I gave the recommendation too for the King.
Oh, sick. Tap. Yeah. Should I force export to mono?
Yes.
That was an option that wasn't selected last time.
Okay, let's wrap this up.
Do you actually want to do your why you like the King? I feel like we were kind of mean to you there in that 5-minute segment. So,
no, don't worry about it. We're good.
Okay. Well, you were given the chance, so I guess until next time.
In my thing already. I recorded it already.
Okay. Well, until next time.
Chumps out, motherfuckers. Peace.
Surprise, I'm back. Peace.